I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade 3 English lesson on sentence types. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once we logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language art. Grade 3. And then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of sentence types. All right. So our chapter is sentence types. Our subject is English language arts, grade 3. And our lessons that we are focusing on under the chapter of sentence types the lessons is the sentence a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation? And is a sentence simple or compound? All right. So that is basically sentence types, right? So we need to we're going to identify what a statement is, what a question is, what a command is, and what an exclamation is, right? So there are four kinds of sentences. There are four kinds of sentences, right? We have a statement, we have a question, we have a command, and we have an exclamation, right? So four kinds of sentences. So a statement, right? A statement is a sentence that tells about something, anything random, right? It just tells us about something. And when it comes to a statement it always ends with a period, right? So in my country, we say a period is a full stop. Right? So statement, it tells us something or it tells about something and it ends with a period. So you can basically say anything. So even if you say that I have a brother, or you just say I have a sister, I am going to the library. I have a black bag. I got new sneakers, right? Even if you just say anything random like that, it's like telling someone something, right? That is a statement and it ends with a period. And an example, right, of a statement also is I have an older brother and a younger sister. You see, it's basically just anything random that you're telling someone. I have an older brother and a younger sister. So usually if somebody tells you that, you can just be like, "Oh, okay. Me too." Or you can just be like, "Oh, okay. Like I have no siblings, or I only have sisters, or I only have brothers." Right? You can decide whatever you want to respond, or you don't even have to respond at all. Then we have a question, right? And a question is a sentence that asks something, right? It asks something. And when someone asks you something, you're going to have to respond eventually. And a question, it always ends with a question mark. It ends with a question mark. And a question, an example of a question is, how tall are you? Or if you ask, what is your name? Or how old are you? What time is it? What time does school start? What are you doing? What are you watching? Right? Those are all examples of questions. And remember, we said that the question ends with a question mark. All right. Then we have a command, right? Then we have a command, and a command, it makes a request or it tells someone to do something. It doesn't mean that they're demanding you to do something, right? But they are just making a request or telling you to do something. And a command, it either ends with a period, or if a command shows strong feeling, and this is now where they're like really like, demanding you to do something, and then it ends with an exclamation, right? If we look at a few examples of commands, right? An example of a command is read the first chapter by next week, or your teacher telling you to take out your books, or somebody saying, close the door, close the fridge, pass me the milk, right? Anything that somebody asks you to do or tells you to do, sorry, that is a command. And like I say, it's not like they are demanding you to do something. It is basically just somebody telling you to do something subtly. All right. And then we have another example of a command says, look out for the car. It's like someone telling you to look out for the car, but this time around it's almost like they are showing strong feeling. They're like kind of shouting or stressing a point because maybe you're not seeing the car, right? And that ends with an exclamation. And then we have an exclamation sentence, right? And an exclamation sentence is like a statement. So it's like a statement, it tells you about something. But when it comes to an exclamation sentence, it shows surprise or it shows strong feelings. And with an exclamation sentence, it always ends with an exclamation point. All right. And an example of an exclamation, right? Some whales are over 90 feet long. It's like you're even shocked, like, wow. You want to tell me that whales are over 90 feet long? It's like showing surprise or shock. Or you show excitement, right? I can't wait until tomorrow, right? So those are examples of sentences, right? And we said we have four kinds of sentences, and it is a statement, it's a question, it's a command, as well as an exclamation, right? So that's the four types of sentences or the four kinds of sentences. A statement, it ends with a period. A question ends with a question mark. A command either ends with a period or a command ends with an exclamation point. And then an exclamation mark ends with an exclamation point. Or an exclamation sentence ends with an exclamation point. Guys, can all of us please stop? Can we please stop and just pay attention? I am really just trying my best here to also basically go over certain things, right? And let us respect the ones who are here that are paying attention. Thank you. All right, so once again, we have four kinds of sentences. So I'm going to start now again. We have four kinds of sentences. We have a statement, we have a question, we have a command, and we have an exclamation, right? And remember, a sentence, firstly, a sentence, it starts with a capital letter, right? So a sentence starts with a capital letter, whether it is a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation, it starts with a capital letter. Depending on the kind of sentence that we have, right? Then we will either say that it's going to end in a period, it's going to end with a question, or it's going to end with an exclamation. That depends on the kind of sentence that it is. And I basically just went over the four kind of sentences, which is a statement, it tells us about something, anything random, right? A question, it asks something, right? A command, it either makes a request or tells someone to do something. And an exclamation is like a statement, right? It shows surprise or strong feeling. All right. Okay, if we look at the sentence over here, where did you find that key? Where did you find that key? Is that a statement? Is that a question, a command, or an exclamation? So it says, where did you find that key? We need to say what kind of sentence that is. All right. So if we look at that specific sentence, right, and that sentence says, where did you find that key, right? And we will then basically say that yes, it is a question that is being asked, right? So question is correct. And how do we know it's a question? Because it ends with a question mark, right? It asks something and it ends with a question mark, which means that you're going to have to respond. So where did you find that key? Oh no, I found that key there. I found the key somewhere, right? So that is a question. That's a question type of sentence, right? And it ends with a question mark. A question ends with a question mark. So well done. Brian, we're not going there, please. Let us all just focus. Guys, if it's your birthday, we want to wish you a happy, happy birthday, right? But can we please focus? All right. I lost my colored pencils somehow. I lost my colored pencils somehow. Is that a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation? The key, we already see that the key is a question, right? And then now we have this one that says, I lost my colored pencil somehow. Now we need to say if it's either a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation. All right. And if we choose the correct kind of sentence, then yes, we're going to say this is a statement. Remember, we said with a statement, right? It basically just tells you about something. It tells you about something. It can be anything, right? And the statement ends with a period. So I lost my colored pencil somehow. All right. So a statement, right? Because we said a statement, it just tells you about something. Can be anything, right? I lost my colored pencil, or I lost my red, or I lost my blue color pencil, right? That is a statement. It's basically just telling someone anything random, right? And it ends with a period. All right. Then it says, wow, that hawk's wings are amazing. And it ends with an exclamation point. So, wow, the hawk's wings are amazing. We need to say what kind of sentence it is. Is it a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation sentence? It ends with an exclamation point. All right. And if we look at that sentence, right? Wow, the hawk's wings are amazing. So once again, we need to say what kind of sentence this is. Wow, the hawk's wings are amazing. We need to say is it a statement, a question, a command, or is it an exclamation sentence? All right. And if we choose the correct one, because most of you have given answers, right? Then yes, we can say this is an exclamation sentence. Right? It's an exclamation sentence and it ends with an exclamation point or exclamation mark. Right? All right. So now we see that that is an exclamation sentence, right? So now we're gonna go on and we're going to our test and we're going to say is a sentence a statement, is it a question, is it a command, or is it an exclamation? So we're going to our test. All right, so what kind of sentence is this? Wow, the hawk's wings are amazing. Is that a statement or an exclamation? So we need to say is it option one, which is a statement, or option two, which is an exclamation. All right, and if we choose the kind of sentence, we will say it is an exclamation sentence. So well done, everybody. Exclamation is correct. Where did you find the key? Is that a question or is that an exclamation? So we need to say it's the question or we need to say it's an exclamation. Either a question or an exclamation. Where did you find that key? So where did you find that key? We need to say what kind of sentence it is. It is a question, an exclamation. All right, and if we choose the correct one, we can say it is a question, right? And it ends with a question mark. So well done. So the first option is correct. Are you getting sleepy yet? Is that a question or an exclamation? So are you getting sleepy yet? Is that a question or an exclamation? All right, and if we choose the correct sentence, we will choose option one, which is a question. So well done, a question is correct. I lost my colored pencils somehow. Is that a statement or an exclamation? So I lost my colored pencils somehow. Is this a statement or an exclamation? All right, and if we choose what kind of sentence it is, then we can say it is the first option, right? Which is just a statement that is being made. So, first option, which is a statement. So, well done. Statement is correct. Please close the curtains all the way. Is this a statement? Is it a question, a command, or an exclamation? All right. So please close the curtains all the way. Remember, please close the curtains all the way. If somebody tells you to do something, what type of sentence is that? Where somebody tells you to do something. All right. So now it says, please close the curtains all the way. We need to say, is this, and it ends with a period, right? So if it ends with a period, do we say it's either a statement or it's a command? So what kind of sentence is this? Please close curtains all the way. All right. So if we choose the kind of sentence, then we will choose a command because it's basically telling us to do something, right? To close the curtains all the way. Yes, so a command is correct, right? So command is correct. Thank you, Nolly. All right, let's go to, we're going to the next one. All right, then we need to now say, is this a simple sentence or if it's a compound sentence, right? So a simple sentence, it is a sentence with only one subject and has a predicate, right? So we can say a simple sentence, right? It is a sentence, only one subject as well as a predicate, right? And a subject, right, it either tells us who is doing the action, the person or thing that does the action. We don't specifically have to give a name of the person. We can say the pitcher, the baker, the swimmer, the gardener. That can also be a subject. That can also be someone or something that is doing the action, right? So, which means that a simple sentence has a subject that tells us who is doing the action and has a predicate, right? And a predicate is like the verb or the verb phrase. And there we have an example. The pitcher threw the ball to first base, which means that the pitcher is our subject, and then threw the ball to first base is our predicate. And then we have a compound sentence, right? If a simple sentence has only one subject and a predicate, right? And it completes a sentence, then a compound sentence, right, has two simple sentences that is joined together by a comma as well as a conjunction. And conjunctions are words like and, but, or so, right? So if I join or put these two sentences together, right? If I want to join two sentences together, then I'm going to say comma and I add my conjunction, right? For example, the pitcher threw the ball and the batter hit it, which means that the pitcher threw the ball is a sentence that can stand on its own. The batter hit it, it's also a sentence that can stand on its own. But now we are joining that two sentences by using a comma, by adding a comma as well as a conjunction, right? And we call this a compound sentence. All right. Right. So now we can, like we said, we have simple sentence, and a simple sentence only has one subject and a predicate. And then we have a compound sentence with two simple sentences, right? That is joined by a comma as well as a conjunction. And a conjunction is and, but, or so, right? Then we can also have a compound subject. And a compound subject, right, is where we have two subjects. Like it's like saying, Sweetie and Nolly, right, went to the park or runs a race. So that is a compound subject, right? It's just giving two names within that sentence. Or you can get a compound predicate. It's like two verbs, but one person that's doing the action. All right. So now we're going on to our test, right? Where we are going to say, is a sentence a simple sentence or is it a compound sentence? All right, what is a compound sentence, or which one is a compound sentence? Remember, we said a compound sentence is two simple sentences that is joined together by a comma as well as a conjunction, which is and, but, or so. So, compound sentence, is it the first option that says, Dad took the last chair, so you will have to stand? Or is it, tonight the farmers will herd the cattle into the barn? Which one is the correct one? So, which one is a compound sentence? Is it the option one or is it option two? All right, and if we were to choose the compound sentence, right, then we will choose the first one because we said a compound sentence has two simple sentences and it's joined by a comma as well as a conjunction, right? So it's the first option. Guys, we will end soon, like in 3 minutes' time. We need to say which one is a simple sentence. Is it option one, which says Wilson can iron the shirt or he can wear a different one? Or do we say that wool scarf looks soft and warm? We need to choose the simple sentence. We say the simple sentence has only one subject and only one predicate. All right. So if we were to choose the simple sentence, we would choose option two, right? So well done. Option two, which says, the wool scarf looks soft and warm. So well done. The second one is correct. We need to say which one is a compound sentence. Remember, we said a compound sentence, it's two sentences, two simple sentences that is joined by a comma as well as a conjunction. And a conjunction is words like and, but, or so, right? That is a compound sentence. So, compound sentence is an option one that says the parade usually goes downtown, but the route may have changed, or the cook tastes too much salt in the soup. We need to choose which one is a compound sentence. All right, so if we choose a compound sentence, right, and a compound sentence, it consists of two simple sentences, and then we can say it's option one. So well done, well done. Option one is correct. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on sentence types, right? And we see there's four kinds of sentences, which is a statement, which basically just tells us anything. Then we have a question, which asks questions. We have a command, which requests. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson, grade 3. Thank you very much for joining our class. I really hope that you have a more better understanding of what sentence types are. We said we have four kinds of sentences. We have a statement that ends, that basically just tells us anything or tells us something. We have a question that asks a question. We have a command that basically requests or tells you what to do. And we have an exclamation, which is a statement which either shows surprise or shock. All right, so now you must have a good evening, grade 3. Till next time, goodbye.